This is the 4,000 day hardcore Minecraft recap. Alright, let's go. Here's the front of the main base with the mossy cobble. Alright, moving. Here's pretty much the side of the main base with the mossy cobble. Alright, moving. And here is the back of the main base with the mossy cobble. Alright, moving on yet again. Here's the cow pen with the mossy cobble. Here's the board of unique and rare item. Here's the newly rebuilt barn, as you can see. Here's the rebuilt horse stables. Here's the rebuilt lookout point. Here's the rebuilt small lighthouse tower. Here's pretty much rebuilt Mild Hill Stable. Here's more or less the rebuilt green. Here's pretty much the rebuilt rest house with mossy cobblestone as well. Here's the mini firewatch. Here's the exterior of the Crimson Lawn. And here is the interior. Alright, moving. Here's the Ivory Lodge, and here is the Ivory Lodge interior. Alright, here's the Cherry Rose Lodge exterior, and here's the Cherry Rose Lodge interior. Here's the exterior of the Ebony Lodge, and here is the interior of the Ebony Lodge. Alright, here's the rebuilt 50 subscribers special statue. And here is the 100 special subscriber statue. Alright, moving on yet again. Here's the spooky house. I plan to build a basement for this in the future. Alright, moving on yet again. Here is the super smelter yet again. Alright, moving. Here's the stairs to down here again. Alright, moving on. Here's the smaller bridge again. Alright, moving on. Here is the villager breeder. Yeah, this thing is nearly finished. I've just got a couple things more to do and to put some of the villages in. Alright, moving on yet again. Here is the modern house yet again. Alright, moving on yet again. Here is the armadillo pen again from the outside. Alright, moving on yet again. Second to last thing we've got to talk about, the botanical greenhouse. I haven't really done all that much work on it, but I'm still gonna work on it. Anyways, let's get to the last thing. Alright, moving on. And finally, this is a new wolf I named him Cujo, as you can see, but anyways, guys, that's pretty much about it. This has been the 4,000 day Minecraft hardcore recap. Another thing I wanted to say, guys, thank you so much for the support on this series so far. But anyways, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!